Right, this video is a demonstration of how to sort out these. This is a Hansa, a Nice Hansa gate motor. This is a double swing, and what happens is we see the shaft here wear out and bed into this faceplate. And what happens is when the gate opens, it kind of it's got a lot of free play, and that free play causes the gear inside to malfunction. And this is a video on how to solve this problem. Now, how you know you have this problem is when you open the gate, when the arm turns, it kind of jerks. Sometimes you even hear it grinding, and this is the symptom. As you can see, that the motor, the arm has play. Look at that. See, so that means the shaft is actually having free play. Right, so this is how we solve it. I've already done it on the one side, so I'm going to show you. Right, so here is an example of a worn shaft. If you look closely, you can see how the shaft has these indentations, and that's what is causing the free play. We're worn there, there, and there. Over here is where the arm, the double swing arm, attaches. So this is actually relevant. The problem is over here. All right, the faceplate looks like this. This is the faceplate. Now, to solve this problem, I propose putting bearings. You see, the reason why this problem happened in the first place is that the original design does not use bearings, so it actually wears over time. And yeah, it could last a few years, maybe 8 or so years, but I wanted something that can solve this problem. So I took the shaft to an engineer who then remade it, and here's a replica shaft redone with the new design. And what we did is we put bearings here. So actually widened this hole from 48 to 65, and on this side as well. And here are 2 bearings, and this allows the new shaft to be inserted there we go, there's the new shaft, but now with a bearing system, and then it just requires the circlip over here, and these are seal bearings, so there's no need for the rubber seal which used to come on the Hansa. Alright, I'm now going to demonstrate how to reinstall this. I never took a video of the uninstallation, so I'll just walk you through the reinstallation, and if you're doing this repair, you can just follow these steps in reverse in terms of how to actually disassemble this motor story. All right. Right, here is the gear with the bearings. I'm just going to do some washing here, just cleaning the dirt, and you can see how the gear has worn because of the slow deterioration in the shaft. And now hopefully that deterioration is not too bad, that I can still use I don't have to make a gear here. Just cleaning this. This is actually the clutch system. So what has happened here is, because the gate kept getting, when it was turning, it kept getting stuck, the clutch was actually loosening. So what you want to do is you actually want to tighten this clutch back. So I'm just putting this back. This clutch comes into play when there's something in the way. For example, if you open the gate and there's a car in the way, something like that. So just get the clutch about halfway. There we go, that's fine. Just reseating this circlip. Okay, so now the circlip is installed. You can see how nicely this is rotating in this shaft here, and how nicely the shaft is rotating, and how the gears, it's so smooth, and gravity is working nicely here to weight it down, and the circlip is resting nicely on the bearing. So this is a great solution. Now I'm going to reinstall this thing, and let's get going now. The nuts and bolts are different, so you have to know which one goes where. The tall ones are actually going there and there. Right, and the short one is going here. So you can actually there it is. Actually fasten that a little bit. And the middle size one is over there. Okay, when you are lining this, it's very important, do a full circle, because the gear may have been worn out in certain places, and now you might need to just position these bearings with a bit of space. So my advice is, let this spin completely before you tighten the bearings down. Let's check. Yeah, that's fine. So now I'll tighten it. And this side. You don't want it too loose, otherwise it can climb. Might be a bit too loose. Yeah, it's getting a bit loose there. Just see. And this is where the limit switch goes, so I'm just going to clean these. It's not a bad idea to change these limit switches at this point. As you can see, these are looking in very good condition. I've already changed these are brand new. Now how it works is, as the gate opens and closes, it goes past the limit switches. So you've got to align these switches in such a way that, if you look closely, you can see there's a raised one and a recessed one, so that you've got to align these now. So that's probably fine. And then when it returns the other direction, the other limit switch will activate. See? Yeah, there we go. The limit switch activates. Perfect. Now then it will go the other way around. Yeah, operate with the limit switch. See? Perfect. Now let's go back the other way, make sure that catches the next limit switch. Yes, perfect. Okay, so now it's time to reassemble the other goodies. This is the belt. The belt goes around there, and we'll wedge the motor in here. There's enough grease there. I'll close the grease off now. This is the motor. Just for those of you who are not familiar with the Hansa gate system, this is an AC motor, so it's connected straight to the electricity, the supply. There are the limit switches. It's a good idea to maybe inspect them, resolder them. I've done that already. And there is a solenoid here for overcurrent, which I'll also install back into its place. Now this gets fitted like that. Just install the solenoid. The solenoid sits over there like that, and what it's doing is it's seeing if this wheel is actually turning. Right, the solenoid seats, it must be seated here, and it mustn't touch the gears. It'll get caught in the gear. It just, this flywheel, or whatever you want to call this clutch system, it just sits near it. So it picks up, when this thing turns, obviously a current is sensed here, and it goes through to the wiring. But the point is where to seat this. You just put this a little bit, maybe 2 mils away from the actual flywheel. So I'm just going to tighten it now, and then I'll show you the finished product. Right, so now it is fastened. You can see the flywheel can turn without interfering with that solenoid. So now fasten the nuts on the other side. Okay, now you might be wondering, how tight must this be? So, rule of thumb, you should be able to deflect this just less than 1 centimeter. So this is actually too, I would consider this too loose, and I can see how it's just moving there. Also, while you're in this position, maybe it's a good idea to just clean this wheel. Just got some thinners here. So by doing that, you're actually shifting the whole motor up, and wow, it's already tighten quite a bit. Just to make sure this side is tight. This side's also not tight. Right, so I'm going to just lift these a bit. See? Yeah, no, that's actually tight. So coming back here. Okay, let's see if I can. No, see, I can't turn. It's got a little bit of a. Can still move a bit, but I'm sure once I've cleaned it, so a little bit of grease. Maybe it's a little bit slippery here, but once I've cleaned it with some thinners, I don't think this thing would move. So, see, yeah, I think that's tight enough. It's about a 1 centimeter free play. I'll just tighten it now. There are 2 white and 2 brown. The double one is going on the top, so it's going there like that, and then the fly lead here, the white one, is just going as its neighbor, so like that. You can actually shift them a bit out of the way. Then the next 2 go on the next available pins. The white one is second, and then on the next available pins. So it looks like that. Just to have a close-up. Look, if it spins the wrong way, if it's backwards, then you just swap these around. So it's like a binary thing. It's either one way or the other way. Right, so now the next step is to wire up the step 1. Just loosen the actual terminal block screws. Okay, I just spray a bit of contact chemi here. It just cleans the oxidation, and I'm just gonna strip these a little bit to get some actual good lengths here. Spray them a bit. Alright, so it is first red, which is the motor common. Then it is blue, which is the gate open. That's connected to a limit switch. Then it is white, which is the gate closed, also connected to the limit switch. And it is orange, also connected to a limit switch, limit open. Then it is brown, which is limit closed, so it's also limit switch. and then it is grey and then black. Grey is the over voltage, so that was connected to that solenoid. And then the black is the negative, and this wire which has come out here is actually also the negative. I'm just going to loosen the terminal block. It's retightening, just checking. Right. Those are the colors. Red, blue, white, orange, brown, grey, black. Now it's time to flip this thing. Being very careful, mindful of the wiring harness. There we go. Right. Alright, one can go and switch on the power now. Okay, so that limit switch is working. See, what has happened is the controller board realizes it's not in the closed position. So the limit switch in the closed position is working, so the gate, the controller thinks it's closed. So it's now time to put the arm on. The arm looks like this. It's a two-part system with a ball joint. Right, so you're going to put the arm on, clean it here. Okay, so now the next step is I would recommend you mark it off where the alignment setting is. So then at least it's easy, you know where it is. So here, this line. Going to change these arm lengths now. To change the arm length, just bend this. I need to rotate this. I mean, just do one turn at a time. longer. Let's see how that works. Still whacking, so I'm going to lengthen it one more turn. I don't mind it hitting a little bit because of the mag locks. The mag locks are there to keep the gate tight. Right, final test. Both mag locks engaged. Perfect. There we go. Thanks to Pamic Engineering, who did the engineering on the shaft. A job well done. I'm sure this will last 20 years. Another way of doing it would be to grind down the original shaft and put smaller bearings on. You see the bearings come in sizes 45, then it goes 50. So the shaft is 48. So I will use the 50 bearing. That meant I needed to buy a new shaft or get a new shaft made. Another option is to grind down the current shaft to say 45, but then where the gate opener, the actual arm of the gate attachment attaches onto the shaft, we then need to either build that up or put a kind of a spacer there so that it will fit. So that's another option, and on the left hand side I'm going to try that option. So watch the space. Version 2 of this video will be posted in the next few months. Thanks for watching, and I hope this helps you with your Hansa gate motor problem so you do not have to buy new stuff.